That's crazy, bro. That's crazy, bro. That's crazy, bro.
What's your name? What's your name? Zabo? Ooh, that's different.
Hey, how everybody doing today? This is Big Jeff YSL Loaded, coming to you live from the Den of No Days Off Productions. Nothing but the truth. All right, today we're gonna talk about something that I think is real good, and I'm taking it to be kind of personal, and it's for the fact of how we as a people can be easily exploited by the system. All right, today's topic we're gonna talk about is called "Who Cares?" Who really cares? We put ourselves in situations sometimes that can be beyond our control. It can get to that point to where we don't have any control whatsoever over it. And I'm gonna use an example of the Woody testimony. This young man is fighting for his freedom, for his life, and for a lot of different other things because he's put himself in a situation that he thought that he was made to believe could help him when it has hurt him. You know, it's hurting him in many ways that he cannot begin to consider it would be this way. Okay? I feel sorry for this young man because anything he's said and done, he hasn't been able to, get anyone to listen to what he's really saying. And to me, I have raised a lot of kids in my lifetime, and I can see that this kid is reaching out for a lot of help and understanding because he's not educated enough to understand and comprehend on a lot of things that's going on with him and with him making these statements and testimonies. I also feel sorry for this young man because, he's by himself right now. He have people who are fooling him every day, making him think that they're with him and they're for him, and he's doing something good. Some people saying he's doing something bad. I think that this young man is doing like the average young man whose life is surrounded by being what they call street people or a person in the street. He's reaching out for love that he can't be strong enough to ask for. So yeah, sometimes we take things that he says to be a joke. Sometimes we take things he says to be personal. Sometimes we take things he says to be the truth or a lie. But to him, it's survival. The things that he have done, the things that he have said, he said it out of survival mode. And for those of you who have never had to live in survival mode, you won't understand his situation because you've never lived it. You've never had to be affiliated with it. We have a lot of people in high places who have questioned this young man, people who have arrested this young man on multiple situations, multiple causes, the whole 9 yards. And not one time, if you're paying attention to him and his testimony and what he's talking about and what he's saying, not one time have he been arrested and have ever been charged with what he was arrested with on. And it's because I tell a lot of kids sometimes, every time I talk, I'm going to give you a story because this is how much I have lived in this lifetime and things that I have endured and had to acknowledge and learn how to figure it out myself. This kid right now, to me, back is against the wall because he have created too many enemies. And one thing about creating enemies is the fact that your first enemy that you created can react on your 10th enemy's mishap that you have with that person. And it's all because, as we all know, and we should know, people who have lived in the street, people who call themselves street people, you always keep in mind and bear the fact that if I create enough enemies, someone else can do something to me, and the blame will fall on the last person that I had an issue with. And I think that's what we're dealing with here. This is exactly what we're dealing with here. We talk about this young man, Mr. Thomas. I sympathize with his family. They lost a loved one. And it's no different than you losing a loved one to prison, to death, to whatever. To lose a loved one means losing a loved one. And the state is trying to really make a case out of this young man's mishaps, knowing that half of the thing this young man has talked about and said, he probably don't have the least clue about it on a true note. Some of the things this young man is testifying to is something that they recommended to him, some things that they said to him, some things that they brought up to him. And he just took it and made a story out of it. And this is something that he has been saying for the last 2 months or longer. But we as a people got to understand that this could be one of our children. This could be one of our loved ones. This could be somebody that we're close to. This could be somebody that we're personal to, who's doing what we all know is survival. He's in survival mode. Let's put ourselves in his shoes. If every time something happened in your neighborhood and the law took upon themselves to personally come and find you and arrest you and charge you with something, or tell you that they charging you with something, just so they can take you in for questioning, and none of the damn questioning is about what they just arrested you for. They went and arrested this young man for a gun that they found on some bleachers in a gym. They took this man down, put him in interrogation, made him think that they had arrested him for a gun that they found in a gym, in a book bag. Then they got a clip out of his pocket. They got everything, they had everything to charge him with something. But his questioning was about street situations. All of his questioning turned into being about street situation. The street situation should have never came up in an interrogation when you told this man you arrested him for something totally different. You have mentally tortured this young man for years. The system has mentally tortured this young man for years. They have false imprisoned him. They have arrested this man on multiple accounts, held him intentionally, and mistreated him intentionally, to where every time this young man's name came across the airwave on a incidental note, as far as him being arrested or this, that, and the other, the same prosecutors on this case wound up going to the jail that he was in and questioning him. How much can a man take? How much can a man take? If you're gonna always pick a man up or come to where a man is arrested at, has nothing to do with the charges that he's facing. And the only thing you can talk about to him is what you're trying to find out about what's going on in the streets. Eventually, you force him to tell you in everything, because he's in survival mode. He's in survival mode. You're trying to take him from his family. You're trying to take him from his loved ones. And he understands that. So what is he left to do? But to feed you a crock of shit. What else is he left to do? You know, so who cares? Who cares? I care. I care about every young man being taken advantage of by the system, even myself. You know, because it can happen to me. I want all us to understand. This could be us. This could be us the system have chosen to mentally destroy. We can't never forget that part. We can never forget that part. You know, some things that he's doing, we feel like he's doing it voluntarily. He's doing hell. If you done arrested me 10, 15, 20 times just to question me and then put me back on the street, you make me look like I'm doing something wrong in a damn way. Because somebody sitting back saying, damn, how you get locked up for this, and he right back on the street. We have those thoughts. We have those thoughts. So for him to go voluntarily, why not? He know you coming to get him any damn way. So why not go voluntarily? Say you're a ride, say you're a phone call, all that. You know, a young man's life was taken. And no sooner as this young man's life was taken, this young man's name rung like a 12 o'clock bell. Instantly. Sometimes people don't take for a person or a civilian, as they say, to mention someone's name. Law enforcement automatically assumes who have done something as soon as they get the call. Trust me, they do. Especially if they have anything that they can consider part of two people having a misunderstanding. That's easy. So we got to be mindful. You know, like I said a couple of weeks ago, I want everyone to look at this case, to look at this trial, and see things other than the young men that's on trial and what they're discussing in the trial. Look at how the system, I want everyone to pay attention to how the system can try to create a story so good to where it will convince 13 people who has no idea of who the people are that they have to make a decision on their lives. It's no different than the DAs who prosecute cases. They don't know these kids. They don't know the people that they're trying to prosecute from Adam or Eve. All they know is all they got to do is paint a pretty picture and convince a jury that what they are saying is true. And 9 times out of 10, they win. Sometimes they win hands down. But ask them, can they actually prove what they're saying? Any prosecutor prosecutes off of hearsay, something that they will object to. How can you object to it and then turn around and do it? How? You don't know these people. You don't know who these people are. You're going by what an investigator has said. You're going by what, people you have talked to in the community can be done said to you or tried to give you some advice on or whatever the case might be. And then you try to put together a picture. And you paint that picture to make someone think that it's live. So I feel sorry for this young man right now. I feel sorry for him. I sympathize with him for being in survival mode to the fact of, well, hell, he probably go home sometime and second guess his damn self and say, shit, did it really happen? You know, we have those thoughts. A lot of people, especially people who lie a lot, sometimes I guarantee you they ask themselves that question. Hell, you know, a woman, if you're in a relationship, and and I'm going here for a reason. If you're in a relationship with a woman, we as men, and we screw up one time and she forgive it. We screw up again, she forgive it. We screw up again and she forgive it. That means you're no better than Woody right now. You're no better than him. It's just you're not fighting the system, and your woman is not the prosecutor, but she prosecuting your ass. To where any and everything you say to her from then on, she gonna consider it a lie. She's gonna think that you're lying. And it's sad, but it's true. You can be really telling the actual truth. But you have deceived her so much till everything you say to her from that point on is a lie. So now you have done exactly what Woody have done. You have opened yourself up to where any and everybody that's affiliated with you, anybody that has any dealings with you on whatever level, has to second guess what the hell you say. If a man tells his woman, I lied, I did this, I said that, ain't none of it true, wasn't none of it true, half of it was true, you know, I told you part truth, whole lies. She got to believe that. She got to believe that. Because now he's actually being truthful. He's being truthful. And this is what we're seeing every day. Not just when the prosecutors question this young man, even when the defense attorneys question him, he's still saying the same thing. He was forced to be put in survival mode. So that's what he did. He did what he had to do to survive. But now, show you how the system works. The system knows this. But they know this young man got to come out here and deal with society after the fact. After the fact. You think they give a damn? No. You think they care? No. Who cares? Nobody. But somebody care. Somebody care. It's just we scared to speak on it. I'm not scared to speak on it. I care. I care for this young man because he could have been one of mine. I'm fighting for many, multiple children other than mine. I got grandsons. I got sons who are in the system, you know, that I'm fighting for as well. So me as a father is talking now. I'm talking as a father. We have to stand up for our children. We have to stand up for our loved ones sometimes. You know, that's what the system called themselves doing. Standing up for those who can't stand up for themselves. What make them better than us? What makes them better than us? You know, if we're going to point the blame, let's point the blame at the top. Like I always say, let's start at the top and work ourselves down the chain. Everybody can be held accountable for their actions. But damn, let it be for their actions. Don't let it be for something that you think they did. You know, our prosecutors have violated more laws. Our district attorney has violated more laws on a lawful note than these kids probably could ever do on a criminal note. And no one is seen to realize, no, ain't nobody talking about that. Ain't nobody talking about that. Let's talk about how these people has went to the jails and consistently talk to these kids, put these kids in situations that could have caused them their lives, put them in situations that was unlivable, put them in situations where they couldn't eat, drink, sleep, nothing. Just for a damn statement. Just for somebody to say, yeah, I'll say what you want me to say. How many times can this man say that? How many? How many times is he gonna have to say? Y'all put me in survival mode, and I did what I had to do to survive. Hell, if I don't bring myself to homicide, to be interrogated, it won't be too long before y'all come and get me any damn way. So what's the difference? You know, this young man had to hear people tell him, yeah, you might want to go down there. You might want to go down there so them folk, you know, and let them folk know you didn't have nothing to do with this, that, and the other. Why should he have to do that? If he didn't have nothing to do with it, he shouldn't have to come and plead his innocence right away. You know, let's make it make sense. Let's make it make sense. Who cares? Who cares? When is someone going to care? When is someone going to care about all of these people, not just some of them? You know, we're no better than the prosecutors right now because we're picking and choosing who the hell we want to stand up for. We're no better than them when we make that decision. The prosecutors are standing up for who? Their reputations? That's all they got to lose. That's all they got at stake is their reputations. What do these kids have at stake? Yeah, let's think about that for a minute. What do they have at stake? What are they going to have to deal with in society? What are they going to have to deal with after all of this rigmarole shit is over? What they going to have to deal with? You know, like I say, at the end of the day, all of the people who have considered them to be guilty of something, they going home at night. They sleeping at night. Some of them. Those who have a conscience are not sleeping. Trust me. The people who know that these kids are being done 100% wrong, they're not sleeping at night. And if they are heartless. They are heartless. I would be scared to even deal with those type of people. I wouldn't want to deal with those type of people. Because if you can be that cold at heart to know that you're playing with someone's life at the end of the day and you can go home and rest peacefully, that means you have no conscience whatsoever. Knowing. But now, put that shoe on the other foot. Let it have to be your ass looking at your loved one go through it. What's going to happen? What everybody think going to happen then? Somebody going to be trying to make a phone call to pull some strings somewhere. I guarantee you. They doing it now. We just not seeing it. Who cares? Who cares? We have a president, a former president, that has been charged as a convicted felon running for president. I respect Trump a lot. I understand why Trump can do what he does, and it's being put in a different situation. He was the president. There's only so much you can do to a president. But would he not be incarcerated if he was a civilian? Kind of make you say, huh. One thing we do know for sure would have happened if he was a civilian. He got a damn bun. He got a bun. Him and everybody that was in this RICO got a bun. But here you have all these young men that's in trial that has asked for a bond 4 times, now 5, still being denied. Still being denied. But we have a president, our former president, and 19 colleagues who are on the street fighting their cases from the street. Who cares? We got to care. We, as a black race, as a black community, we have to care. We got to start caring. We got to start protecting each other. We got to start fighting the system with each other. Because if we don't, it's going to get worse. It's going to get worse. We had a City of Atlanta police team to go inside of a club on false pretenses, remove everything out of the club, alcohol-wise, with no shame whatsoever. But it was officers that was actually on the team that really didn't want to be there, and they said it. Some of them even said, y'all know this wrong to do. Who cares? We listening to an officer, one of the head officers, say he seen the right paperwork, he seen the right things that they need to see, but he was still going to conduct what he came to do. Who cares? You know, and you bashed a club, you bashed this business with false pretenses. Let's make it make sense. Let's make it make sense. You arrested people under false pretenses just to make it look good. That's defamation of character. For what? What was the purpose? Are you ever gonna find out what was the real purpose? For them to go into La Cura Bistro, bistro and bar? Let's make it make sense. We are seeing things right now that we have never seen in our lives being done. And it's only being done to particular people. Who cares? Who cares? You know, we have city officials who are being targeted because they stand up for the south side of Atlanta. Really? Really? Tell us why. The South Side is no better than any other side of Atlanta? Let's make it make sense. We got people on the South Side of Atlanta that owns their own businesses, do their own things, don't get into no one's actions or reactions or charges or nothing. That's being targeted because of where their locations are. Let's make it make sense. But I can go on the west side, walk in a club, walk in a bar, walk in any business over there, and don't see no harassment. I can go to Buckhead. I can go to Lithonia. I can go to Snellville. I can go to a lot of places around this city and don't see these people get harassed nowhere near the people do on the South Side. Businesses and all. Let's make it make sense. You know, we don't have a political leadership on the South Side. We have one person that represents the South Side of Atlanta on a political scale. And I'd be damned if he don't catch hell at his office too. We have one person. Mr. Antonio Lewis is the only representative for the South Side of Atlanta. And I'd be damned if he don't get tortured too. So we got to support him, people. People of the South Side. We have to support him. We got to stand up and we got to support him. Mr. Lewis needs our support. He needs our support because believe me, they trying to get him out of there. They trying to get him out of the political game. And we talking about gangs. We talking about trying to get control of gangs. It's not the gangs that they looking at in the street we need to be trying to get control of because there aren't none. There are no gangs in the streets of Atlanta. The gangs are in our law enforcement. It's in our judicial system, period, and a whole. Let's bust up those gangs and see how far this city go. Let's go get this real organized crime and prosecute it instead of everybody making their excuse as to why and why not. It's not organized criminal activity. It's called white collar crime now when it get to that level. But it's still a crime. It's still a crime. The people who are under these people are puppets. They're puppets. As our Honorable Uriel Glanville said to one of the defense attorneys. So, who cares? It's going to always go back to who cares. The only time you see concern in the political world is when it's your ass on the stopping block. When it's your ass they trying to come and get. Then you start feeling like you being treated unfair. No, you getting what you supposed to get like you saying everybody else do. Let's see what's going to happen. Let's see what's going to happen to all this Fulton County corruption shit. This city of Atlanta corruption. Let's see what's going to happen when all that hit the fan. Let's see who they are going to point the blame on then. Can't wait. Can't wait to see it. So when all said and done, I sympathize with this young man. I sympathize with him because he put himself in a position that the people who are prosecuting him has no clue of how it is. This young man is fighting for his life like my sons and my grandsons and the rest of these young men in this RICO case is fighting for their lives. He's just on the other side. He's experiencing what the young men who they are trying to prosecute is experiencing. How people can act like they down with you, and then when you can't show and tell, they throw your ass under the bus. They throw you under the bus. So he hasn't got a clue. He hasn't got a clue. You know, we listen to it, we can listen to his statements. We can listen to his interrogations. Even in his phone calls, this kid is saying the same thing. He's saying the same thing. When is someone going to hear that? Why are we still going through this? Why? Why is this kid still being questioned? Why? It can't get no better. You can't get butter from a damn duck. So why keep questioning him? He don't have nothing to tell you. And anything he done already said, he said it years ago. He didn't just say it now. He been saying it. So what's the purpose? Taxpayers are losing millions of dollars, thousands of dollars because of nothing. When the taxpayers gonna start talking? When the taxpayers gonna start putting their complaints in? When? You know when? When somebody start caring. Right now, who cares? And it's being shown to us. It's being shown to us. You can't go around it. You can't go around it. We're gonna find out some more. As long as this case go, we are going to find out more and more of how crucially fucked up our Fulton County government is. We're going to find it out. I would be embarrassed enough to want it to stop if I was a Fulton County employee. Because like I said, you don't know who next. You don't know who next. They still got indictments out there open, ladies and gentlemen. I'm telling you, and I'm going to show you in a minute. They got other indictments out there. They got other RICO acts that's coming. So you better get your head on a swivel because it could be your next. It could be. We have a lot of open book. We need to go and get on the internet and go to our court system. It's open book. Go on there. Go on there and see what RICOs they got coming. Go on there and see. So far, it's 11. They got 11 more RICOs that they're trying to activate. I wonder who that can be. I wonder who that can be for. You might not be so lucky. You might not be able to afford good attorneys. You might not be able to afford someone who has your best interests at heart. You might not have a public defender at the public defender office that actually wants to stand up for what's right. Miss D. Williams, I really appreciate her. I really appreciate Miss Williams and Mr. Lamar. I really appreciate them because they standing strong. They deserve a lot of praise, a lot of praise. All of the attorneys deserves a lot of praise, but those are special. They are special. I hope that they wound up in one of these attorneys' law firm after this case. I really do. They deserve it. They deserve it.
There's some officers too that know that this is not right. That told me, yesterday at the trial. Had a few words with some of the officers, and they, just said to keep your head up, Big Jeff. They praying for you, Jeffrey and the family, and so there's people that do know that what's going on is not right.
And it's sad. It's sad that these, you have to understand that people who have kids, they are looking at this. People who have kids, they're looking at this. They're really looking at the fact that, it's a lot of injustice going on right here. But what I want them to look at is, I want them to have this mentality. What if it was one of mine? What if it was someone dear to me? Would I be able to sit back like this? May the 9th, 2025 would be 3 years for this bullshit.
And not to mention the amount of time frame that they call themselves, and all the years they say that they are investigating him, that they investigated him. That's pretty much harassment. Like, how can that not be harassment? You following somebody trying to find something, that's crazy.
But you put a 2-week indictment on a person. 2 weeks. I can't get past the fact of what grand jury could you have went before to present this bogus ass case to that actually let you convince them to sign an indictment.
Kayla said that wasn't done properly.
I can't understand that. Yeah. If it's that easy, then we need to do something. I seen a police officer show that they activated a warrant at 9:48 at night to go into a place of business. Really? Really? And after the fact, I heard an officer say, hell, we came because we thought the place was going to be closed. So what, you were going to break in on them? You were going to break into the place? Let's make it make sense.
I don't think they can make it make sense.
Let's make it make sense. But for a person to show you their legal paperwork, documented, signed the whole 9 yards, and a person say, I'm still gonna do what I came here to do. What's the purpose of having paperwork? What's the purpose? One thing I don't understand is how can you arrest someone and don't tell them and can't tell them what they're being charged with?
That too is harassment.
City of Atlanta police officer locked up 5 people, handcuffed them, put them in cars, rolled them off to the jail, and couldn't tell them what their charges were until they got them to the jail. Let's make that make sense. Let's make that make sense. I think that's really breaking the law.
Bullies with badges, right?
No, those are gang members with badges. That's a gang with badges. That's a gang with badges. And they're called the APD gang. DA gang. Sheriff Department gang. You know, these are the gangs we need to be fighting. Because they're going to win at all mercy. These are the gangs we need to be fighting. Not the gangs in the street ain't hitting on jack. They named these guys gang members. They put these guys as gang members. When you have investigators sitting in a trial testifying, and when they're being asked, do you consider these guys to be gang members? And they say, not where I come from. I come from Chicago, I come from Illinois, I come from so-and-so, I come from so-and-so, and this ain't how gangs roll where I'm from. And I got gang members in my family, I got gang member friends, the whole 9 yards. And this, I cannot see gang member on none of these people in Atlanta that's calling themselves gang members. So who considering them to be a gang then? They take a 40-hour class and can be acknowledged as expert gang members. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you kidding me? And say it's because of what they wear, tattoos, this, that, and the third, so forth and so on. Are you serious? Are you serious? No, that's not always true, people. That's not always true. That went out back in the 70s. That's not always true. You know, let's get some, you know, I consider the people who I consider to be gang experts are people who are actually gang members.
Born into it, you know?
Those are your experts. Now, get some of them to come in to be classified as experts. Those are your experts.
They don't want the truth.
Go to some gang-related prisons and get some gang members and let them show you how to be a gang expert. And let them tell you if they consider all this garbage in Atlanta calling themselves gangs to be gang members. As a true gang member, which person in Atlanta, Georgia, would they even come close to considering to be a gang member? A legitimate gang member. Not a damn hybrid gang. The hell is a hybrid gang? Don't get a gang a name, it has a name. G-A-N-G. Not hybrid. You have never heard of a hybrid gang. You can't be hybrid. Either you in or you out. You are either in or out. So who cares at the end of the day? I care. Janita care. People with consciences cares. So we got to make a stand. We got to make a stand and show that we care. Not a protest. We got to make stands to show that we care. Protesting in Atlanta, Bullshit. You're not gonna be allowed. You can't protest in Atlanta unless you're a certain race.
They want you to get permits, and then they do everything they can to prevent.
Unless you're a certain race, you can't. You won't be able to do a permit in that protest in Atlanta. It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. We got too much. We got too much going on. When are we going to care? When is someone gonna care? I done talked to a lot of people, and they have shown me that they don't give a damn. Trust me, they have. So, Shanita finally made it home so she can relate. And we gonna do some things coming up that everyone is gonna be welcome to join. And we're not going to protest anything. We're gonna speak on it. We're gonna speak on it. Like I tell you all, this is a different show. This is a different type of show. Because I ain't scared. I'm not scared to talk to my people. I'm not scared to talk to the people. I don't have a fear to talk to the people because we're going to keep it real. Real is a hated term for people to have to live by. Real. First, you have to be real with yourselves. Until you do that, you're going to always be unbalanced. You'll always be unbalanced. Until you can be able to tell yourself the truth and live with it, you'll always be unbalanced. Then you will believe everything you hear. You will react to everything that comes towards you when some of it is not to be reacted to at all. You know, we have people say real recognize real, then you go out and do some fake shit. I can't tell. I can't tell. You have to be real. You have to be true to people, even if they're not true to you. Even if they're not true to you. You got to keep your head up. My son, you know, people ask me a lot about how's your son holding up? How's your son this, that? My son good. Every day he wake up, he's good. He's great. Because he was able to live to see another day. So that means he has another shot. He's good. He has me out here. All of those young men have me out here. Everybody in the system has me out here. I'm going to stand up for us. I'm not just speaking on just certain people. I'm speaking on all of us. All of us. If we get that more, we might can accomplish some things. And the last thing I want to talk about before I take off is these bullshit ass podcasters. I'm sick of some of y'all clowns. And I ain't throwing shade, I'm throwing truth, because that's what the name of this show is. I'm getting it to you real and raw. Stop speaking on things just for clout. Stop trying to put bad names and bad words and bad issues toward people that you don't even damn know.
They're killing me with this snitch culture, man.
You know, let's talk about something real. I'm gonna give all you podcasters this challenge. This is a challenge. Y'all hear Big Jeff speak on his city every week. I speak on my city. I speak on things that happens in my city. I speak on people in my city. I speak on the people of my city. Because I have a respect level for that. Let me see some of y'all speak on people in y'all city for a change. Get the fuck off Atlanta. Get off Atlanta. In other words, if you don't know what you're talking about, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Let me see you talk about some of the people and some of the issues in your city. I know why you won't. I know why a lot of y'all podcasters won't. I know why you won't. And I'm going to tell you why you won't. Because you know the cats in your city ain't like the cats in this city. They're going to spank your ass when you scream their name out there. When you talked about them. That's why. These cats from Atlanta ain't going to come looking for you in Chicago or Illinois or New York or Miami or L.A. or nowhere else. And y'all know it. So let me see you do that. That's my challenge to y'all. Let me talk about Atlanta and y'all talk about y'all cities. And then maybe we can form some type of union to come together and try to fight together. Not each other, our systems. Let's stop getting at each other, man. Let's get at our systems that's putting this shit on us. Let's do that for a change. Let me hear y'all talk about that. Let's call each other and let's get with each other and let's try to put some topics together to talk about to our people in our cities and hope that they join in, man, and let's make a stand.
Come up with a legitimate plan of action, you know.
So this is what we're dealing with. I'm not beefing with y'all chumps, so I don't care what you say about Big Jeff. I'm not going to beef with you, brother, because I know I can come to your city and shame you in your city by being real. I know this for a fact. Because if you'll do the things that you're doing on podcasts to people that you don't even know, you can't be real in your city. You can't be. Let me see you have some guests pull up at your damn podcast from your city and sit down and kick it and be real. That's my challenge. Bring somebody on your show. Talk about something other than YSL every day. Let me see you do that. Let me see you talk about some of the things that going on in your city that need to be corrected, like I do. That's my challenge to the podcasters, because I'm not going to go back and forth with you. If that's what you're looking for, Big Jeff is not going to give you that satisfaction. It's not going to happen. Because I know if you, this team that I'm with, we can't be infiltrated. We can't be infiltrated. And we sure can't be pulled out of our character by people talking. And the reason being is because 58 years ago, somebody talked about me. 58 years ago, somebody talked about me. And that was my mom and my dad when they conceived me. And she found out she was with child. For 9 months, somebody talked about me. The day I slid out into the world, somebody talked about me. From that day to 58 years later, someone has talked about me. If God called me home right now, someone is going to talk about me. According to how many days my family allowed me to sit out, someone is going to talk about me. The day that they lay me to rest, somebody is going to talk about me. 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 years from now, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? Somebody's going to talk about me. So how can I let you pull me out of character for talking about me? If you want to make me your strength, go ahead. If you want to make us your strength, go ahead. If you want to make my family your strength, go ahead. Please do. Because we're not that weak to entertain bullshit. We don't entertain that. I don't entertain that. I know who I am. I'm content with who I am. I love who I am. Because I know who I am. I know what I stand for. I know what I'm going to stand for and what I'm not going to stand for. So I'm saying that to say this. This is Big Jeff of YSL Loaded, coming straight to you from No Days Off Productions with nothing but the truth. And I'm out.